Luke chapter 1 and start at verse 7. Right? We in fear of the enemy right now. Not that we scared of him, that he gonna hurt us and that the Lord can't preserve us from death, but we can't keep the law, statutes, and commandments without the worrying about the enemy interfering. Right? Read what you got.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 7.
Get out.
That's to speak by the mouth of the prophets,
Right?
which have been since the word began.
All right, the prophets have been since the world began. Read on.
That we shall be saved from our enemies.
We're going to be saved from our enemies. Thus says the Lord. Keep reading.
And that we shall be saved from our enemies and from the hands of all that hate us.
We gotta pray the prayer to the Lord to be saved from our enemies and from the hands of all that hate us. Right? Because in Babylon the Great, we surrounded by our enemies. Right? Hold what you got, King. Give me Genesis 49 and give me verse 7. Right? Because Judah, the Lord already prophesied about Judah. Let me see. Verse 7. Genesis 49. Read verse 8.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise.
Right, Judah is him who thy brother shall praise. Read on.
Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemy.
So you got to think, if your hand is in the neck of your enemy, you and your enemy in close proximity. Y'all fighting and y'all like right up on each other. The Lord already said that about Judah, right? You're going to be in close proximity of your enemy, right? So that's why that's why John's dad is talking the way he's talking, right? Keep reading, King.
To perform the mercy promised to our fathers.
Right, we looking for the mercy that's been promised to our fathers. Read on.
To remember his holy covenant.
And remember his covenant. Read.
The oath which he swore to our father Abraham.
The oath which he swore to our father Abraham. Read.
That he will grant us unto us. That we bring being delivered out of the hands of our enemies.
We being delivered from the hand of our enemies. Read.
Might serve him without fear.
And that's when we gonna be able to serve the Lord without fear. Without fear from the heathen trying to encroach on what it is that we doing between us and our God. Right? So keep reading on that, King. You can go back to Habakkuk.
Who wet their tongue like a sword.
They wet their tongue like a sword, meaning they cutting us up. They getting us killed by the things that they speak. How they doing that? By passing laws against us, right? Read on.
And bend their bows to shoot their arrows. Even bitter words.
See, the words that they speaking. Y'all ain't nothing but niggas. That's hate speech. Right? Y'all, that's anti-Semitism.
Right.
That's discriminate, whatever the hell they saying, man. They bending their words to try to frame us as we doing something wicked so that the world should hate us, right? Keep reading.
That they may shoot in secret at the perfect.
They want to shoot in secret at the perfect. Read.
Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not.
And they don't even give a damn, man. They shooting at the perfect and they don't care that they touching the apple of the Lord's eye. The Lord already said in the law that that's a problem. You can't touch the apple of the Lord's eye. Keep reading.
They encourage themselves in an evil manner.
Read.
They commune of laying snares privily.
They want to set traps for the elect, man. They want to set traps to try to keep this word from not coming out. Right? Read on.
They say, who shall see them?
They like, look, we the government.
That's right.
Who gonna see us, right? Good. Right? They say, who shall see it, right? We the government. Who gonna see it?
Nah, that's them. Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Keep reading, King.
They search out iniquities.
They search out iniquities, right? They searching out ways to keep the Israelites in sin. Give me Judah chapter 5 and verse 20. They say they search out iniquity. They doing research on how to keep the Israelites in sin, right? Read on.
They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search.
A diligent search is research, right? Why the heathen want to do that? Hold that. Read what you got, King.
The book of Judah, chapter 5, verse 20.
Read it out.
Now therefore, my Lord and Governor,
Read.
if there be any error against this people,
If there be any iniquity in this people, read.
and they sin against their God,
Let
us consider that this shall be their ruin.
This will be the thing that ruins them as a nation, right? So who's behind all this, right? Read what you got. 2 and verse 5.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 5.
Read it out.
Yea, also because he transgressed by the wine.
He transgresseth by wine. He teach false doctrine. He go from country to country pushing white supremacy, right? Read on.
He is a proud man.
He's proud, right? Read on.
Neither keep it at home.
And he don't stay his ass home.
Right.
He don't got no home. He the Neanderthal.
Right.
He go from place to place, city to city, country to country. He came in the spirit, man. The Lord said you're gonna be a vagabond.
Right.
You don't got no home, right? Read on.
Right.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell.
And he enlargeth his desire as hell. Give me Uriah, give me Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 13. What do he mean he enlargeth his desire as hell? He want to put everybody in captivity.
Right.
That's his desire.
Right.
His desire is to enslave you, right? Read what you got.
Isaiah 5 and 13.
Bring it
out.
Therefore my people are gone into captivity.
My people, the Israelites, are gone into captivity. Read.
Because they have no knowledge.
Because we don't keep God's laws, right? Read on.
And their honorable men are famished.
Keep in mind the topic is captivity. The honorable men are famished. Read on.
And their multitude dried up with thirst.
They dried up with thirst. They don't have the washing of the water by the word. Read.
Therefore, hell have enlarged herself.
What is captivity?
Therefore, hell have enlarged herself.
That's why we in captivity. We living in hell right now. This
right.
is hell. You see how hot it is?
Yeah.
We ain't got no, they the ones destroying the ozone layer and polluting the atmosphere. They the ones cracking that stuff open and got the sun beaming in here hotter than it's supposed to.
That's right.
We in hell,
All
right? Read on, King. Keep reading.
Desire as hell.
They want to put us in captivity. Read.
And it's as death.
And they is as death. Everywhere this man goes, death follows behind him. Read on.
And cannot be satisfied.
But
But gather unto him all nations.
he gather unto himself all nations. He want everybody to link up with him. Everybody come to America. Give me Daniel chapter 2 and read start at verse 21. He gathered to himself all nations. This is what Daniel interpreted for Nebuchadnezzar. Right? Read what you got when you got it, King.
Daniel 2 and 21.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 21.
Yeah, the ski in the building.
The time and season.
Right?
And he removed the kings.
Right?
And set up kings.
The Lord is in charge of who's ruling and who ain't ruling.
Right.
Don't never get that twisted. It ain't because of your vote. Your vote don't matter.
Right.
Right? The brother just brought a class out on that. Your vote don't count.
Right.
The Lord, what it say? Read it again.
He changes the time and the season.
Read.
He removed the king
He removed Biden or set Biden up. Right? Read on.
and set up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise
He give wisdom unto the wise. Read.
and knowledge to them that have no understanding.
And he gave knowledge to them to have no understanding. That's why I say it pleased the Lord by the foolishness of preaching. Matter of fact, get that in 1
Bring it out.
Corinthians chapter 1 and read verse 24. Start at verse 24. It say it pleased the Lord by the foolishness of preaching to show his wisdom. It's
Right.
foolishness that we gotta come out
Right.
here and tell y'all about God. Why we gotta tell the flesh and blood people on the earth that there's a real God, that God is supreme ruler, right? Start at 24.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 24.
Bring it up.
But unto them which are called both Jews and Greeks,
Read.
Christ the power of God and the wisdom of God.
Christ is the power of God and the wisdom of God. Read.
Because the foolishness of God is wiser than men.
The foolishness of God is wiser than men. Read on.
And the weakness of God is stronger than men.
The weakness of God is stronger than men. Hold it. Bring it out, King.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 1 and verse 27. But God has chosen the foolish things of the world.
The God of the Bible has chosen the foolish things of the world. Read.
To confound the wise.
To confound the wise, right? The men of Teman, right? The Lord said, I'm going to destroy out of Esau the wise men of Teman. The wisest of y'all people, I'm going to destroy y'all with the foolishness of the people, right? Read on.
And God has chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things that are mighty.
He chose the weak things of the world to confound the things that are mighty. Esau is the mightiest military on the earth. He's the mightiest people on the planet right now. But it won't be that for long, right? You can drop that, go back to Habakkuk 2 and 5, and go back to Daniel. You got a precept? Bring it out, King.
The book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 9.
Bring it out.
And thy mighty men, O Teman.
That mighty man, old Teman, because Esau got tribes. Just like Jacob got tribes, Esau got tribes. Hey, them Edomites in Russia, them some different type of Edomites than the ones over here in America. Right. You got the Amalekites, they some different type of Edomites than the ones in America. Right. He got tribes too, right? Thy wise men teaming, read on.
Shall be dismayed.
They gonna be dismayed, meaning confused, scared, read on.
To the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
Every one of them gonna be cut off by slaughter. Thus saith the Lord, right? Keep reading that on Daniel, King.
The book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 21. And he changes the time and the season.
He changed the times and the seasons, read.
He removed the kings and set up kings.
He take presidents down and he set presidents up, read.
He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding.
Daniel's letting King Nebuchadnezzar know, look, the Lord is who gonna bless me with the interpretation of your dreams, right? Read on.
He revealeth the deepest secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness.
All right.
And the light dwelleth with him.
Give me that, you in the spirit, in Obadiah, give me that, how art the things of Esau searched out. He said he revealed the secrets, man. He revealing the things of Esau in the last days. Bring it out, King.
Obadiah, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus said the Lord God concerning evil. We have heard a rumor from the Lord.
We heard a rumor from the Lord, read.
An ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle.
They're gonna rise up against her in battle, read.
Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen.
He made them small among the heathen. They not the greatest population. They not the most populous anymore. They small among the heathen. All the other heathen hate them. Right? Read on.
Thou art greatly despised.
Everybody hates the so-called white man. Right. Read on.
The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee.
And that's what Habakkuk finna talk about. Keep reading on that, what you got. It said, he go back to verse 5, it said he is a proud man. Read that.
He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
And he don't stay home, read.
Who enlarges his desire as hell.
And he enlarges his desire as hell. So it's all talking about the same thing. Keep going in that Obadiah. You found it? The things of Esau searched out?
Yep.
Read that.
Yep. Verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out?
Everything that this demon has been doing behind closed doors, we know about it now. We know he took the 14 books out of the Bible and hid them. We know that he painted the saints and the judges in their likeness when that ain't what the Bible says. We know about him now, man. He can't hide no more. Keep reading that in Daniel.
I think he revealed the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is in darkness, and the light dwelleth with him.
The light dwelleth with him. The laws, right? Read on.
I thank thee and praise thee, O thou God of my father.
And we give all honor and glory to the Lord that he woke us up and showed us the deep, dark things in the Bible. He showed us the secrets of the Bible. We thank and praise the Lord for that, right? Keep going, King.
Who has given me wisdom and might, and has made known unto me now what we desired of thee.
He makes known of us what we desire of the Lord. Give me that in Psalms 37 and start at verse 6. He made known unto us everything that we desire of the Lord. So if you desire to have wisdom, you desire to know who plotting against you, the Lord say, I'll reveal that to you, right? Keep reading on that, what you got in Psalms.
Psalms 37 verse 6.
Bring it out.
And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light.
He gonna bring forth our righteousness as the light, meaning what? Everybody's gonna see the people that God set in order. He gonna set us in order. Matter of fact, drop that, give me Psalms 55 and start at verse 21. He gonna show, he said our righteousness is gonna come forth as the light. Everybody's gonna know at the end of the day that we God's people. Let me see, 21, 5, 21.
Born alive from Babylon the Great, but Austin, Georgia.
I got a precept for it. Go ahead.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter
About 103 degrees out here.
When they see it, they
cooking.
shall be troubled with terrible fear.
When they see it, they're going to be troubled with terrible fear. Go ahead.
And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
That's all praise to the Lord. They're going to be amazed at the strangeness of our salvation. So when the Lord say, I'm going to bring forth y'all righteousness as light, everybody going to see that we God's people. Right. Ain't going to be no question about it in that day. Keep going in that. What you got, King?
Psalms 37 verse 6. And thy judgment as the noonday.
Read on. That going back to what we read in Psalm 91, the destruction that wasted that noonday. Right? Read on.
Rest in the Lord.
Rest in who?
Rest in the Lord.
Read on.
And wait patiently for him.
Wait patiently on the Lord. Read on.
Fret not thyself because of him.
Don't fret yourself. Read on.
Who prospereth in his way.
That's the so-called white man. He prospering right now. He own the whole damn world. Don't fret yourself and say, man, he never gonna get off my back. I gotta keep clocking in forever. Right? Keep reading.
Because of the man.
Because of who?
Because of the man.
Read on.
Who bringeth wicked devices to pass.
The man that bringeth wicked devices to pass. Give me Isaiah 14 and start at verse, I want to say start at verse 20. Right? He said, fret not thyself because of the man that bringeth wicked devices to pass. Right? Start at verse 16. Yep.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 16.
Bring it up.
They that see, these shall narrow look up. Excuse me,
You good?
They that see, these shall narrowly look up upon the.
Right. When they see Esau in them chains, we gonna narrowly look upon him like what? That's him, right? Read on.
Thee and consider thee. Saying, is this the man
Is
that
this
made?
the what?
Is this the man
right?
that made thee earth to tremble?
This the man that made the earth to tremble.
This your king?
This the one.
This your
the one
king?
that had
On Black
everybody
Panther.
Scared.
Right.
Everybody's scared of the so-called white man. He gotta raise him up and destroy him so that the world can know that Yahweh is God.
That's right.
Keep reading on that. What you got, Uriah?
Psalms chapter 37. Verse number. Psalms 37. Verse number 6.
Read.
Psalms. Verse 6. And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light.
He gonna bring forth our righteousness as the light. Read on.
And thy judgment as the noonday.
His judgment is like a ring. Read on.
Rest in the Lord.
Rest in the Lord.
And wait patiently for him.
Wait patiently on the Lord. Read on.
Fret not thyself because of him.
Don't fret yourself because of that devil. Read on.
Who prospereth in his way.
He prospering in wickedness. Read on.
Because of the man.
Because of the man. Read.
Who bringeth wicked devices to pass.
He bringeth wicked devices to pass. Right? Go back to Psalm 64. And read where you left off if you remember. I think it was verse 5. Right? He bringeth wicked devices to pass. That's going into him doing a diligent search. Right? They searching out iniquity. They the ones who damn invented transgenderism. Right. They the ones who invented, what that was, Bill Gates went over there and said, look, this some doo-doo, but I'm gonna turn it into water. That's wicked. In Africa. You don't know that? Yeah, he went over there and was like, I made this machine and it could turn doo-doo into water. Here, have a drink. Nobody, you drinking.
Right.
We ain't drinking that, man. Right? Keep reading what you got.
The book of Psalms, chapter 64, verse 5.
They
They encourage themselves in an evil manner.
That's an evil matter.
Right.
To want to turn doo-doo into water.
Right.
That's evil,
that's
man.
madness, man.
You shouldn't make nobody drink that. Right. Somebody's clean now.
Right.
That's nasty, man. Keep reading.
They commune of laying
Witchcraft.
snares.
That's a snare. To drink water with boo-boo in it.
Right.
Keep reading.
They say, who shall see them?
Ain't nobody gonna know it's really still boo-boo in here. They don't got a machine to test. That's wicked, man. Keep reading.
They search out iniquity.
They search out iniquity.
They accomplish a diligent search.
They accomplish a diligent search. Read on.
Both the inward thought of every one of them.
Some of them.
And
good.
every one of them.
Every one of them.
Right.
Read.
And the heart is deep.
And the shit they think about is deep, says the Lord.
Deep.
Man. They on a whole nother level when it come to wickedness.
That's right.
Whole nother level. Give me that in First Maccabees, chapter 1, and evils were increased on the earth.
You give me that water.
Keep reading on what you got, King Isaiah.
That blue jug.
Verse 16 again.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 16.
Bring it up.
They that see, they shall narrowly look upon thee.
They that see thee shall narrowly look upon the white man. Read on.
And consider thee, saying, is this the man?
Is this the man? Read.
That made the earth to tremble?
That made everybody scared. Also going into them who created the bomb. And he made the whole earth tremble. Read on.
That did shake kingdoms?
They shook kingdoms. Read.
That made the world as a wilderness?
That destroyed the whole damn earth. This the one? Read on.
And destroyed the cities thereof?
It's saying it. Read.
That opened not the house of his prisoners.
Don't open up his prison. He gotta stay in there. Read on.
All the kings of the nations, even all of them lie in glory.
All of the kings of the nations lie in glory. Read.
Everyone in his own house.
Every other nation is gonna be put back in their spot. But this man, nah, read on.
But thou art cast out of the grave like an abomination.
But the damn devil, he not gonna get a proper burial. He gonna get just destroyed,
Right.
wiped out, right? Read on. Wow, read what you got in First Maccabees. Can you hold that, bro?
Which one you want?
Let me see, bro. I think it's verse 6. Yep, start at verse 6.
First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse number 6.
Bring it out.
Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable.
This is going into Alexander the Greek, getting ready to divide his kingdom up.
That's
so
right.
he called his servants the ones that he said was honorable, you know?
And had been brought up with him from his youth.
The ones he raised up with, right? Read on.
And parted his kingdom among them.
And he parted his kingdom among them, right? Keep reading.
While he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died.
He reigned a short time. He died at a young age, right? Read on.
Verse 8. And his servants bare rule everyone in his place.
Every one of his servants kept ruling. Edomites, right? Read on.
And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves.
Read on.
So did their sons after them many years.
For generations they were ruling, right? Now watch what happened as they ruled. Keep reading.
And evils were multiplied in the earth.
When they kept ruling, shit got worse.
Right.
It got way worse than it was before. It say evils were multiplied in the earth. Right? Read on.
And there came out of them a wicked root.
Everything that comes up out of them is a wicked root, right? So watch what the Lord say. Go back to Isaiah 14. Keep reading where you left off, King.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 19.
Bring it out.
But thou art cast out of thy grave.
They're gonna be cast out of their grave, meaning what? They're gonna be completely wiped out. They get utter destruction. Read on.
Like an abominable wrench.
Like an abominable wrench. Read.
And as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword that go down to the stones
Read.
of the pit, as a carcass is torn under feet.
They gonna be completely wiped out. That same thing Obadiah saying. Read on.
Thou shalt not be joined with them and brutal, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people.
They kill their own people. They don't care if their own people get caught up in the crossfires of chemical warfare, of them putting stuff in the food to destroy people. They invented all this autism and ADHD. They made that stuff, y'all. That's witchcraft. They don't care that it's affecting some of their own people. So the Lord say, because of that, right? Read on.
The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned.
The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. They're never gonna get any respect, right? Read on.
Prepare slaughter for his children.
They children gotta die. Read on.
For the iniquities of their fathers.
Because we had to suffer. Give me that in Lamentations chapter 5 and verse 7. We had to suffer for the iniquity of our fathers. That's justice. Right? That the Lord say you reap what you sow. Give me Galatians chapter 6 and verse 7. The Lord say you reap what you sow. You can't do something and then not have to pay for it at the end of the day. Right? You got 5 and 7. Yes, sir.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 5 and verse 7. Our fathers have sinned.
Our fathers have sinned
and are not.
And they dead.
And we have borne their iniquity.
But we gotta pay for it. That's the same thing he say gonna happen to the so-called white man. They gonna be cut off for the iniquity of their father. Thus saith the Lord. Right? Read what you got, King. Galatians.
Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. Be not deceived.
Don't let nobody trick you out here.
God is not mocked.
You cannot play with the Most High God of the Bible. God is not mocked. Read.
For whatsoever a man soweth,
anything that a man soweth,
that shall he reap.
That's what you gonna reap. Thus saith the Lord. So that's what he gonna reap. Keep reading in Isaiah.
Prepare slaughter for his children.
That's what they sown. Then they slaughter our children. Then they feed our children to alligators. Then they come and rape, rob, and pillage every nation that they entered into. The Lord said that they are as death and hell. Everywhere they go is hell and death. Everywhere they go. So they reaping what they sowing, right? Read on.
For the iniquities of their fathers.
For the sins of their fathers. Read on.
That they do not rise nor prosper.
Read.
Possess the land.
They can't rise up again. The Lord say, kill them all.
Right.
That they do not rise or prosper or possess the land. So the Lord said they gotta be wiped out. Right? So what does that mean? The Lord is about business.
All right.
He ain't about sparing people that don't want to
Bring it out.
Go back to Luke chapter 19 and verse 27. The Lord ain't about saving nobody that don't want to be a servant to him.
Right.
The book of Luke, chapter 19 and verse 27.
Bring it out.
But those mine enemies,
Those that are the enemies of God.
That
read.
I should
which
not
not that I should reign over them, bring
Bring
them
them
hither
hither.
and slay them before me.
If you don't want the Lord to reign over you, you're gonna get killed.
Right.
The Lord.
That's
He
right.
don't care about sparing nobody feelings.
Bring it
Go back
out.
to 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and read verse 24. The Lord don't care about sparing nobody feelings, man. If you don't want to serve the Lord, then you're gonna
kill
die.
your ass. Right.
Everybody that want to be against him is
Right.
going to die.
Right.
You got something, King?
Luke chapter 20, verse 20.
Bring it out.
And they watched him and sent forth spies, which should feign themselves just men.
These men claim that they're just men. They watching the Lord, spying on them, right? Read on.
That they might take hold of his word. That so they might deliver him unto the power and authority of the governor.
That's what's gonna happen to us too. They're gonna want to deliver us to the power and authority of the government.
All right.
Right? Read what you got.
The
King.
book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15 and verse 24.
Bring it out.
Then cometh the end,
Then come at the end. Read.
when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to God.
God is gonna get the kingdom back at the end of the day. Jump up to verse 21.
Verse 21. For since by man came death,
Man brought death into the world, right? The Most High God didn't bring
Go.
death. Read on.
for since by man came death,
Uh-huh.
by man came also resurrection of the dead.
Right, Yahweh Shai was a man. He wasn't a demigod. He wasn't
Go
half
ahead, bro.
man, half God. He was an actual man who was
Right.
separate at all points. It said, by man came death, and so by man came the redemption out of death. Read on.
For as in Adam all die,
Adam made everybody to die. Read.
even so in Hamashiach shall all be made alive.
Everybody's gonna be made alive by
Bring it
the
out.
Messiah, right? Thus saith the Lord. Read on.
But every man in his own order.
But every man in his own order, right? The Lord deals with order. Everybody's not the same. The Lord says every man in his own order. Read.
Christ the first fruit.
He's the first fruits, right? Pentecost, if you understand. Read.
Afterward, they that are Christ at his coming.
And afterwards, they that are Christ at his coming, the dead in Christ, like we read in Isaiah 26. Read on.
Then cometh the end,
Then come at the end. Read.
when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to God,
Read on.
even the Father,
Even the Father. Read.
when he shall have put down all rule.
Oh, he gonna put down all rules. Give me Revelation chapter 19 and start at verse 12. He gonna put down all rule. Ain't gonna be no dominion but the Lord at that time, right? Read what you got.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 19, verse 12.
Yeah.
His eyes was as a flame of fire,
His eyes, Yahweh Shai got flaming red eyes.
Right.
and on his head were many
He
crowns.
taking crowns, man. He ain't asking for nothing. He taking them crowns. Right? Give me that in Daniel chapter 2 and verse 44. He taking them crowns,
All right.
man. It say he gonna put down all rules.
Wow.
He gonna put it down, man. He putting it down. Read what you got.
You taking crown, yeah.
Daniel 2 and 44.
The book of Daniel,
The five.
chapter 2, verse number 44.
Alpha male.
And in the days of these kings
In the days of these kings, read.
shall the God of heaven
The God of heaven, read.
set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed.
His kingdom ain't never gonna be destroyed.
That's
So
right.
ask yourself, are you with God or are you against him? What side are you on in this thing, man? Right? Keep reading on.
Then
I
cometh-
got you on.
Oh, yeah.
The end, yeah, read.
Then cometh the end,
Then come at the end,
when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to God,
he gonna deliver the kingdom to God, read.
even the Father,
Even the Father, read on.
when he shall have put down all rule.
He putting down all these kingdoms. In the days of these kings, he putting them down. They gonna be still trying to rule. Right? Read on.
And all authority and power.
All authority and power. Right? Give me that in 2nd Ezra chapter 14.
Hey, I gotta read 25.
Oh, yeah, read that.
For he must reign.
He must what?
He must
He
reign.
must reign, right? He gotta rule. The earth was created for him. It was made for him, was made by. Now, give me that in Colossians chapter 1 and
Gonna
verse
get deep.
15. Start at verse 15. He said
Gonna
that he
get deep.
must reign.
Bring it out.
Everything was made for him and by him. So why he ain't gonna reign? That don't make sense for him, for you to think in your mind that these kingdoms gonna reign. No, not so. They only reigning because the Lord is allowing them to. It said that in Daniel 2 and 21. Yep, start at verse 15. Chapter 1 and verse 15.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 1, verse 15. Check it out. Who is the image of the invisible God?
We're talking about Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, right? He's the image of the invisible God. Read.
The firstborn of every creature.
The firstborn of every creature. Read.
For by him were all things created.
Everything was made by Yahweh Shai. Read on.
That are in heaven.
That's in heaven.
And that are in earth.
The angels and everything that's on the earth. Read. He made it all. Read on.
Visible and invisible.
Visible, whether you can see it or not, he made it. Read on.
Right. Where they be thrones or dominions.
Whether they be thrones or dominions, rulerships, he made it. Read on.
Principalities or powers.
Read.
All things were created by him.
It was made by Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
Right. And for him.
And it's made for him. So he must reign. That's what you got to understand. Right? Go back to that in Revelations. Go back to Revelation 19 where you left off. Verse 12 again.
This is the book of Revelation.
It say he must reign, right? The law got to be taught so that people can understand that it's him. It's for him. Everything was made for him and by him. Read what you got.
Chapter 19, verse 12. His eyes was as a flame of fire.
He mad as hell. Read on.
And on his head were many crowns.
He taking them crowns. Read.
And he had a name written there on man. Known but he himself.
He had a name written that no man knew but he himself. Read on.
And he was clothed with a
vesture.
And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood.
He gonna have blood all over his clothes. Read on.
And his name is called the Word of God.
His name is the Word of God. He coming with that sharp sword. He coming with the word, and he gonna speak the. You got it in 2 Ezra 14. All right, hold that, and I want you to restart at verse 35. Verse 35. Yep. Read what you keep reading, King.
And the armies, which were in heaven.
The armies which were. It's armies up there, man.
Right.
Ain't nothing soft going on about the Lord, man. He says armies up there. Read on.
Followed him.
They following him. Read on.
Upon white horses.
Upon white horses and chariots. Read.
Clothed in fine linen.
They gonna be clothed in fine linen. Read. Ain't no sweating going on with the angels. Read on.
White and clean.
And
out of his mouth goes a sharp sword.
Out of his mouth goes the sharp sword. Read.
That within it he should smite the nations.
With it, he's gonna smite the nations. Now read what you got in 2 Ezra 14.
He ain't no soft white boy.
Smite the nations when he come back, man. He coming with war on his mind. Read what you got, King.
2 Ezra chapter 14, verse 35. For after death shall the judgment come.
After death, the judgment is coming. What y'all understand, right? Read on.
When we shall live again.
When we shall live again. Thus saith the Lord, you're gonna be changed into something else. Read on.
And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest.
The names of the righteous are gonna be made manifest. What are the names? The 12 tribes of Jacob. They're gonna be made manifest. We're gonna know who Judah is, who Benjamin, who Levi, Ephraim, Manasseh, Simeon, Zebulun, Gad, Reuben, Asher, Issachar, Naphtali. We're gonna know who what name, right? Read on.
And the works of the ungodly shall be declared.
And the works of the ungodly are gonna be known as well. Everything that you've been doing behind closed doors, people gonna know about it at that day. Read on.
Let no man therefore come unto me. Now, nor seek after me for 40 days.
Nobody, right? Read on.
So I took the 5 men as he commanded me.
All right.
And we went into the field and remained there.
Right, that's good. Can you could drop that? Go to Revelation chapter 6 now. And start at verse 10. Right? So the Lord say everything that you're doing in that day is going to be made manifest. Give me Psalms 119 and verse
hold my phone real quick.
142.
There's some water right here.
Yeah, read that. That's 13? Okay, yeah, read that. Salak.
2 Ezra chapter 13, verse 1. It came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea.
There arose a wind. Now read that in Revelation chapter 7. Drop that. Read that in Revelation. You Revelation? Okay, read Revelation 7 and verse 1. It said after that, read that part again.
And lo, there arose a wind from the sea.
There arose a wind from the sea, right? Now what's that wind? Read what you got.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 7, verse 1. Having the seals of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice.
Will you start from verse 1? Start from verse 1, King.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 7, verse 1. And after this, things I saw 4 angels.
He saw 4 angels. Read on.
Standing on the 4 corners of the earth.
Read.
Holding the 4 winds.
Holding the 4 winds back, right? The winds of destruction, right? Read on.
Of the earth. That the wind should not blow on the earth.
I meant to tell y'all, man, they had an event in Tilton today for Juneteenth.
That's going into the winds of destruction, right?
Nor the sea, nor any tree.
Read
It was
on.
at a- it's
And
gonna be
I
like
saw
a party
another
at
angel ascending from
Tilton.
the east,
I saw another
They in
angel.
at 10.
having the
It
seals
was
of the
like
living
a
God.
all
They
like
got
an all
the
day
seals
thing.
of the living God.
And he cried with a loud voice.
Outside, if I'd have known, I just found
It
out.
was given to hurt the earth.
These
Found out
angels' job is to release the destruction on the earth. So that's
They ain't about known about it, I would have been said something about it, but I was like, I ain't going.
Second Ezra chapter 13, verse 2. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea.
There arose a wind from the
I know that bitch gonna be deep out here.
because everybody got nuclear bombs now.
House
That's what
gonna
he's
go
saying,
out
right? Read on.
and
Let
get
it
some
move all the ways thereof.
It
give out some
moves
cards, but I ain't
everything.
even
That's
had
what
no
it's saying.
cards
That's
to
what
go
these,
give out like
this
that.
wind is talking about. This destroying wind from the multitudes
some more, they
of
put the
people.
business
Right?
on
Give,
next
matter of fact, give me that in Isaiah
I got
17,
you.
verse 12. Let's see what
Yeah,
the
they put
sea
the
talking
beat
about.
in next
It's
week.
going into the multitudes of
We
people's
have.
nations. That's what that wind
That bit
gonna
can be
rise
deep,
from,
bro.
right?
Hey, the book of Isaiah, chapter
They
17,
having the
verse 10,
12.
and verse 12.
Round Big Festival. I think the same thing.
Woe to the multitude of many people,
Woe to the multitudes of many peoples, read,
which make a noise like the noise of the sea.
which make a noise like the noise of the sea.
Sea.
So the sea is referencing to a multitude of people.
Go back to 2nd Ezra, chapter 13,
and
verse what that was?
Verse 3.
I ain't seen nothing about
This the book. The 2nd Ezra,
probably
chapter
what
13,
everybody
and verse 3.
Uh-huh.
it.
And
They
I,
ain't got no big.
and I beheld,
Look
and
it
lo,
up. I ain't
that
even know
man
they was
waxed
doing it.
strong with the thousands of heaven.
Uh-huh.
And when he turned his countenance to look,
They're
all-
going into Yahweh Shai with them armies that follow him behind him. They say when he waxed strong with the multitudes of heaven. And when he turned to look, right? Read on. Go to Habakkuk chapter 3. And start at verse, Habakkuk chapter 3 and start at verse 8. Read.
and all the things trembled that were seen under him.
Everything trembled when the Lord looked at it, right? Read on.
And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth,
The voice coming out of his mouth now. It say a sharp, in Revelation, it say a sharp sword goeth out of his mouth. Right? Read on.
and all they burned that heard his voice.
Everything that's going to hear his voice is going to burn. Because he going to speak the law. Right? Read on.
Like as the earth fell
Uh-huh.
when it filleth the fire.
Uh-huh.
And after this I beheld, and lo, there was a gathered together a multitude of men.
That will gather together a multitude of men. Now hold that, right? Read what you got, King. Start at verse 9.
It's the book of Habakkuk,
Matter of fact, start at verse 8.
chapter 3, verse 8.
Uh-huh.
Was the Lord displeased against the river?
Uh-huh.
Was thine anger against the rivers?
Right? That's going into peoples, right? He ain't talking about literal waters. Right? Read on.
Was thy wrath against the sea?
Uh-huh.
That thou didst ride upon the horse and the chariots of the salvation.
That's the same thing. He coming with them chariots to destroy the people on the earth. Read on.
Thou bowels was made quite
Uh-huh.
naked according to the oath.
That bows was made quite naked according to the oath. He gonna destroy the earth with arrows, with bombs. Read on.
Of the tribes,
Uh-huh.
even the word, thy word,
Even thy what? Even
Thy word.
Read on.
Selah.
Uh-huh.
Thou didst cleave the earth with rivers.
He did cleave the earth with rivers. Read on.
The mountains saw thee,
Uh-huh.
and they trembled.
The mountains saw thee and trembled. The governments saw the Lord and they gonna tremble when they see him. Cause they like, how we gonna fight against that? They already trying to prepare to fight against him with the Space Force. They say the mountains, the literal mountain ain't gonna see the Lord and tremble. The government's gonna see him and tremble. Right? Read on.
The overflowing of the waters
Uh-huh.
passed by.
Right? All these people gonna come and try to gather up against the Lord. Read.
The deep utter his voice.
The ocean can't talk. The deep, the multitudes of people. Right? Read on.
And lifted up his hand
Uh-huh.
on high.
They prideful. They think they can fight against God. Read on.
The sun and moon stood still,
Uh-huh.
and the habitations at the light
Uh-huh.
of thine arrows.
Read.
They went in the and at the shine of thy gilder spirit.
What verse? Read it again, verse 11.
The sun and the moon stood still, and their habitations at the light of thine arrows. They went, and at the shine of the glittering spirit.
All right, why it's gonna be glittering? He bought it. He blood all over. Right, read on.
Thou didst march through the land.
He did his march through the land. Read.
In indignation.
He gonna be mad when he come through. Right, read.
Thou didst thrust the heavens in anger.
He gonna destroy all the ruling. The people ruling. Right, read.
Thou wentest forth for the salvation of thy people.
And he come, that was you read that second Wisdom of Solomon 5. He coming for the salvation of the people, his people. Read on.
Even for salvation with thy anointed.
The anointed, right? Israel. Read on.
Thou wouldest the head of the horse.
Thou woundest.
Thy woundest the head of the horse of the wicked.
Thou woundest the head out of the house of the wicked.
Right.
The head of the wicked is here. He gonna wound us the head. When you cut the head off, what happened to the body? It falls. Right. That's the end of all them Edomites, right? Read on.
By discovering the foundation.
He cutting the head off right where the neck started, right? Read on.
Unto the neck. Selah.
Selah, let it be so, right? Keep reading on what you got, King.
Thou didst scrape.
You can rest right there.
Second Ezra chapter 13 and verse 5. And after this I beheld and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men.
The same thing Habakkuk saw, a multitude of men. Waters, right? Read on.
Out of number.
Out of number. You can't name all these armies. The Chinese army. You can't. There's so many damn Chinese people.
Right.
It's out of number. Just them alone is out of number, right? Read on.
From the four winds of the heaven.
That's the four winds. Destruction, right? The four winds of heaven. The same thing from the beginning of the Bible to the middle to the end. Read on.
To subdue the man. To subdue the man that came out of the sea.
To subdue the man. Now that sea talking about the waters above, which you would call space, right? To subdue the man that came out of the sea. Read on.
But I beheld and lo.
Beheld and lo, right? Watch this.
He had graven himself a great mountain.
He graven himself a great mountain, a chariot. Read on.
Right. And flew up upon it.
And he flew upon it, right? Now hold that. It say a great mountain. Go to Daniel chapter 2 and read verse 40. Daniel chapter 2 and verse 40. He said he had a great mountain and that's what he flew upon. Now watch how all this gonna go together, right? Against all these people, these multitudes of people. Read what you got.
The book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron.
The fourth kingdom, Rome, right? Read on.
For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things.
Rome just subdued everybody up under Roman rulership. Read on.
And as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces.
They got a strong military. Read on.
And bruise. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes,
the feet and the toes, read.
Part of the potter's clay. And part of iron.
Part of iron, read.
The kingdom shall be divided.
That's this kingdom that's divided, because what? He heaped to himself all people. Like Habakkuk said. He bring all these people here, but they don't cleave to one another. You can't mix Roman ideology with Chinese people. You can't mix Roman ideology with East Indian people. You got all these different nations here trying to make them stick together, and it ain't gonna happen. Right? Read on.
But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron.
They got a strong military like Rome. Read.
For as much as thou saw the iron mixed with miry clay.
Read.
And as the toes of the feet were part of iron.
They got part of Rome in them. They got the ideology of Rome. This is an extension of Rome here, right? Read on.
And part clay. So the kingdom shall be partly strong.
It's gonna be partly strong because they got a hell of a military. Read.
And partly broken.
Because the people divided here though. It don't mean nothing that they got a strong military and the people that's in the military is all nations.
Right.
How you think that Chinese American man feel in the U.S. Army when he got to go fight against his people?
Right.
He don't want to do that.
Right.
That you think they partly divided, right? Keep reading, King.
And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men.
That's how you know it's talking about mingling with the nations, mingle with the seed of men. Read on.
But they shall not cleave one to another.
Everybody not gonna stick together here in America. It don't matter what law they pass. They don't pass the Chinese American law where you can't pick on Chinese people no more. That ain't gonna help. There's nothing gonna help that, right?
Even as iron is not mixed with clay.
You can't mix iron and clay together. You can't mix all these nations together, right? Read on.
And in the days of these kings,
in the days of these kings,
shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom.
He gonna set up a kingdom, read.
Which shall never be destroyed.
But what, read?
And the kingdom shall not be left to the other people.
And all these other heathens gonna have to serve in that kingdom. Read on.
But it shall break in pieces.
It's gonna break in pieces, right? Read on.
And consume all these kingdoms.
It's gonna destroy everything that's here. Ain't gonna be no more kingdom when the Lord kingdom comes. Right? So keep reading on that, Thad.
Verse 7. But I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven.
You say what?
It say verse 7. I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven. And I could not.
He said I would have seen a region or place where out the hill was graven, or the mountain. Right? Now hold that, read what you got. 45.
The book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 45. For as much as thou saw that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hand.
He seen a stone cut out of a mountain without hand. Read on.
And that it break in pieces the iron.
Now you hold that, go to 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 8. He said the stone that was cut out of a mountain without hands, right? This stone is Yahweh Shai. He coming back today and destroy all these wicked kings. 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 8. You the spirit, you flip right there. That's the Lord. Right, read that, King.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, verse 8. And they stoned us, stumbling.
And a what?
A stone of stumbling.
That's Yahweh Shai. Read on.
In a rock of offense.
Offense. Because people are offended at Yahweh Shai. How? Because they offended at the law.
Right.
How? Because he is the law. So these governments so offended at him. So he said, look, read it again. Read on 45.
Verse 45. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands.
Without hands, Yahweh Shai, read.
And that it break in pieces.
It breaking what?
Pieces.
It's gonna destroy everything. Read.
The iron. The brass.
The brass.
The clay.
The clay.
The silver.
The silver.
And the gold.
All the kingdoms ain't gonna have nothing to compare to the kingdom that God gonna set up. Read.
The great God Yahweh have made known to the king.
He made the who made it known?
The great God Yahweh have made known to the king. What shall come to pass.
The Lord makes known what's gonna come to pass. You can drop that, King. Keep reading on that, Thad.
Verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him.
Everybody's gonna gather together to subdue our king, right? Read on.
Were sore afraid.
They're gonna be scared though. How you trying to fight and you scared?
Right.
They still, that's how you know it. The Lord say, well, I'm gonna put hooks in their jaw. I'm gonna make them fight, right? Keep reading, King.
It says, and yet durst fight.
And yet durst fight, even though they scared. Read on.
And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came.
As he saw these people rising up against him, read on.
He neither lifted up his hand.
He ain't lift up his hands, read.
Nor held sword.
He ain't pick up no weapon, read.
Nor any instrument of war.
He ain't gotta have no Glock 19, read on.
But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth.
What he sent out his mouth?
But only I saw he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire.
As it had been a blast of fire. Because what? The word is like fire. It's going to burn them up. He going to speak, thus saith the Lord. And they going to burn right there where they stand, right? Read on.
And out of his lips, a flaming breath. And out of his tongue, he cast out sparks and tempers.
And storms going to be happening when he speak the law. Y'all gotta understand the type of destruction that's gonna be going on. Go back to Habakkuk 3. Right? Watch what the Lord say, man. The type of destruction that's gonna be happening when Yahweh Shai come. You don't want that smoke, bro. Nobody don't want that smoke. Habakkuk chapter 3 and read verse 9. I think you left off at 9.
You go. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 3, verse 9. Get out.
14.
Chapter 3, verse 14. Thou didst strike, through. Thou didst strike through with his staff.
With his stage.
The head of his village.
The head of his village, America.
They came out as a whirlwind.
The same thing Ezra saw. They came out as a whirlwind. Read on.
To scatter me.
To scatter the Lord. Read.
Their rejoice was as to devour the poor secretly.
And we the poor of the Lord, right? We the poor they want to devour secretly. Watch this. Read on.
Thou didst walk through the sea with thy horse.
They walk. The Lord gonna walk through the multitudes of these people with his chariot. Read on.
Through the heap of a great water.
It's gonna be a heap of them people. Same thing Ezra saw. Read on.
When I heard my belly tremble.
When he saw this, his belly trembled. Read.
My lips quivered.
He's scared as hell. Read.
At the voice.
You good? Rottenness. And rottenness.
At the voice of rottenness. Entered my bones.
He said when he seen this vision, rottenness entered into his bone. He was like sick to his stomach. He was so scared of all this destruction and death that he seen. Read on.
And I trembled in myself.
And he trembled in himself. Read.
That I might rest in the day of trouble.
He said, look, when that come, I want to be dead. I don't want to be alive in that day. Right? You can drop that, King. Keep reading on that.
It's real. Verse 11.
And they were all mixed together. The blast of fire. The flaming breath.
Read.
And the great tempest.
All that destruction gonna be mixed together. That's what's gonna be killing them folks. Read on.
I gave all them the
and fell with violence. Upon the multitude which was prepared to fight.
The people who come in to scatter him as a whirlwind. That's what's gonna fall on them. Read on.
And burn them up, every one.
He gonna what?
And burn them up, every one.
Every single one of them getting burnt up. Read on.
So that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived.
You couldn't tell what the hell happened to them folks when the Lord speak. Thus saith the Lord. He gonna say, "Thou shalt not commit adultery. That's your sin, you die. Thou shalt not covet. That's your sin, you die. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. That's your sin, you die." He gonna speak the word, and you gonna be destroyed, and you ain't gonna be able to tell what the hell happened to him. Boom. Right? Read on.
It says, but only dust and the smell of smoke.
Only dust and the smell of smoke, right? Read on.
When I saw this, I was afraid.
When he saw this, he was afraid, just like Habakkuk. Everybody's scared when they see actually what's going to happen at the coming of the Lord. Read on.
But,
and the smoke. So
verse 12. Afterward, I saw the same man come down from the mountain and called unto him another peaceable multitude.
He called another peaceable multitude. That's Israel. Right? Read on.
And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, some of them were bound, and others some brought of them that were offered.
Right? Some of them were bound, some of them were scared, some of them were joyful. Read on.
Then was I sick through great fear, and I awakened and said, Thou hast showed thy servant these wonderful from the beginning, and hast counted me worthy that thou shouldst receive my prayer.
Right, you can drop that, King. So we need to be thankful and counted as unworthy. The Lord receive your prayer. Man, you need to, that's not a light thing, man. For you to, if you know you prayed a prayer and it got answered, that's not a light thing at all. Right? So we praying for the destruction of this place. We praying that the Lord speed up the time. We praying that he bring destruction on Babylon the Great. Right? Read what you got, King.
Revelation chapter 14, verse 11. And the smoke of their torment ascend up forever and ever.
They're gonna always, it's gonna be the utter destruction forever in this place right here. America the Great, right? Babylon the Great, rather, right? Read on.
And they have no rest. No rest, day nor night.
Read on.
Who worship the beast.
If you worship the beast, the white man, read.
And his image.
Right, his image, which is Christianity. Read on.
And whosoever receiveth the mark of his name.
How you doing, brother? Doing all right today. It's hot out here, man. You want some water?
They gotta get with it.
Hey, okay, okay.
I'll pray. As far as that chop.
Okay, you see yourself up here, King? You see yourself up according to your father? See, we got the common names on your right. American, Black, Haitian. According to who your dad is, what's your nationality? If you don't know, it's all right. You don't know? Okay, that's cool. Give me Romans 8:16. It's all right, man. Because really, it's not even a carnal thing. It's spiritual at the end of the day, right? You got
this the book. This the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God.
Right. Our spirit meaning what? When you read the Bible, when we show you the things that we about to show you in the Bible, it'll bear witness or it won't bear witness with your spirit. If it bear witness with your spirit, then that means that you a child of God.
Bring it out.
No matter who your earthly father is.
Bring it out.
More, give me that instead. You in Hebrews? Yeah. Give me Hebrews 11. I'm gonna show you something real quick, King. Hebrews 12, matter of fact. It don't matter who your earthly father is, but more so who if he's your father, right? 12 and verse start at verse 6.
Hebrews chapter 12, verse 6. For whom the Lord loveth, he chastens.
Who the Lord loveth, he chastens. Meaning he judge you if he love you, right? Read on.
And scourgeth every son whom he receiveth.
And he scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. So if you a child of God, more than likely you dealing with the judgments of God. You understand? That's how we able to discern through the Spirit if you are one of God's children, right? Keep reading.
Verse 7. If ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons.
If you endure chastening, the judgment of the Lord, he dealeth with you as a son. Now we're going to go through the scriptures and read some of the chastening that the Lord has us to endure right now to see if that fits you. Because if it fits you, then you would indeed be a son of God. Make sense? All right, let's do it. Give me Deuteronomy 28. You there? Start at 15. So you know about Moses, right, King? Moses did what? He led the children of Israel out of Egypt, right? You remember what they were doing in Egypt? They were slaves in Egypt. They was working for Pharaoh, right? So Israel and Egyptians aren't the same people. The Israelites, God's people, were working for the Egyptians. So after Moses brought us out of Egypt, this is what he told the children of Israel. Listen to this.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Right? Moses told the children of Israel, he said, look, if y'all don't listen to God, this is what's going to come to pass. This is what's going to happen, right? Read on.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
So listen to God's commandments is what we had to listen to. Read on.
And his statutes which I command thee.
All 613 laws. Read.
This day.
Read.
That all these curses shall come upon thee. And overtake thee.
So the curses is another way to say the chastening of the Lord. It's going to come upon you and overtake you. That's what Moses told us. He said, look, y'all are the sons of God. In order for you to be the sons of God, if you disobey God, God has the chastening. He has the discipline. He got to give you a spanking through the Spirit. Right? So listen to the chastening that we got on us as a people. Right? Keep reading.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Not right. Hold on. How you doing, brother? Good. So what we talking with this brother about is